Hmm. So, I wanted to do a live today. Not really sure everything that I'm going to talk about, but just like yesterday, just a little bit of what happened yesterday with me is that I did a recording on my phone, and in my car while I was driving, 30 minutes or more of me talking about all the things that have been on my mind and all of the things that are on my heart, and really, really powerful stuff that I felt was really moving in me at the time and still is in a lot of ways. And it did not save. The recording just went away. And it's kind of like life, and how we do things, we put effort into things, and nothing really doesn't seem like it comes of it, or we don't get to keep that which we put so much into. It's like those Tibetan sand mandalas where they create this beautiful structure, and then when they're finished with it, they gather up all the sand and then they offer it to the river. So that's what I felt like what happened yesterday with me is I poured my heart into all of this. And it was only 30 minutes. It wasn't like an entire, book or anything, but I poured all of myself into this, and thinking, this is really rich stuff here. This is really, really, really rich stuff, but it's not, it just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be. So, today I want to talk about how, for me, and for a lot of people around me in my circles, how I'm seeing that it's really vital right now to live your life to the fullest expression. And what I've found is that I'm getting a lot of messages and I'm receiving a lot of, what's the word? There's a lot that's coming at me that's questioning what I'm doing. It's questioning that how I am living in the world, and those voices used to be a lot louder for me. Those voices used to be very loud. And now there are other voices that are louder. And there's even the most important voice, which is my own inner voice, that is the most important to me right now. So living my life to the fullest, in my own experience of that, is connecting with people that I resonate with. It's doing things that bring me joy and acting in ways that used to be considered selfish, but are now seen as, well, they are still, it's selfish in a way that I'm putting myself first so that I can be the best and truest version of myself. And one example of that is saying no to things that I would have said yes to in the past out of guilt, of, oh, this person needs me, or this thing needs me, and if I don't do it, I'm going to be perceived a certain way, that I'm not being a team player. And now, what I feel in my heart is the ways that I love to give from my heart. I know they're going to be the best for the common good because they are coming from my heart. Now, when I do things that come from my head, and I'm thinking that this is maybe what this person wants, or what is needed in this certain situation, what I'm doing is I am assuming things about that other person, that they need me, when in fact what they really need is for me to be myself. Because I was reminded of this yesterday, I naturally want to give, and I naturally want to help people. Now, the important thing is to give and be of service to others in a way that makes my heart leap with joy, because that is going to create this vibration that ripples out into the collective. So if I'm giving out of a sense of duty, I'm not going to be feeling that joy, and I'm not going to be living and experiencing what I'm doing in that vibration of joy. It's going to be from this place of obligation and duty, and that's not where I choose to be anymore. So that's what I mean by living life to the fullest. It's by living in alignment with what brings you the most joy and the most happiness, and because that will create joy and happiness for others. And it's not, and the people that might be upset by your expression of joy, they don't, that's their thing. That's not on you to try to change yourself. That's on them, And yesterday, one of the things that I talked about in my deleted recording was inspiration. And this idea that, so the word inspiration means to bring in the spirit. And it's kind of, when we breathe in the breath, and that is the spirit we're taking into our physical form. And so to continue to be inspired is to bring in your spirit into yourself. And anything that blocks your ability to be inspired, to bring the spirit in, it leads to more disconnection from yourself. This specifically in my own life, this idea of being inspired by people around me, I have felt so inspired lately by people around me, that new friends, old friends, semi-new friends, people that are doing amazing things in their lives, that live their own truth and live out their own expression of what it means to be alive. And part of me in the past would start to feel all these feelings of like excitement and joy and seeing someone else. But then I would immediately block that. I would immediately block that inspiration because I was feeling that, oh, well, I'm not like that. I'm not feeling that way. And it was a trigger. There's a trigger like that, you know, there's no way they could be that happy. There's no way they could be in that space all the time, or even most of the time. Just seeing what people put out there in the world. I made up ideas and beliefs that, in large part, were taught to me by my mother, my grandmother, and so on, about people based on nothing, not based on anything real. But basically, if you are in a space of disappointment in your own life, judgment, inner judgment, you're more likely to judge others who are not in that space and make up stories about them to serve your own idea that will keep you in the same cycle, that will keep you in the same place, which is where you're comfortable. But at some point, you're not going to be comfortable in that space anymore. It's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. The box is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're not going to be able to fully live your life if you block those pathways to inspiration that are coming towards you all the time. All the time. And I've met so many amazing people in the past 2 years, that live their life living their unique truth. And it's been so inspiring to watch them and to watch myself as I continue to walk down my own sacred path. And the more that I continue to walk down my own path and live my life to the fullest, the more that I attract people that are doing the same thing. Not the same thing as me necessarily, although you do tend to resonate with people that are on the same frequency as you, but I'm attracting people into my life that are also living their lives on purpose. And what that has meant for me is that I have my daughter in an amazing outdoor forest school. I've connected with so many amazing people that way, other parents. I have met so many people that are doing the work that I've been doing, that are interested in doing the work of reclaiming sovereignty, of living embodied every day, of healing at the deepest of levels, of not being afraid to dive deep, dancing. Dancing is so healing, and I've been doing a lot of dancing lately, a lot of ecstatic dance, and that has been a game changer for me. I had a long break where I wasn't doing it, so in March through the whole spring and summer months, I wasn't dancing, and I did a little bit of dancing, but to dance in community with other people is just so potent. It's and to see the expression, see their own unique expressions of their joy is amazing to watch. And seeing other human beings that are living their lives in freedom and sovereignty and unapologetic, untamed, and really knowing deep, deep down in their heart that we are so blessed to live on this planet right now, and that there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of darkness that exists. But the best thing that we can do is to shine our light even more. To shine our light into those dark spaces that we see all around us. To connect with people, be authentic, be real, know what's true for us, and also honor and acknowledge and respect other people and where they're at on their journey, in their path. Because everyone creates their own path. I did a guided visualization about a year ago. I started working on this idea of doing this guided visualization for people, and it's all about creating your own path. And the idea is that just imagining yourself at the edge of a dark forest, or whatever kind of wilderness that you want to imagine. It doesn't have to be a forest. It can be anything. And it is completely wild and unknown. And it's your journey, it's your task, to walk this path that's, to create the path. There isn't a path laid out before you, basically. There is this wilderness, but for you to go through it and create your own path to reach whatever is out there. Doesn't even have to be a destination. It can just be, you don't even know where it's going to end, where it's going to lead. It might be a short path, just going through a few brambles and cutting them down, and you might have a machete and you're just hacking away. You might want to go and do lots of curves and twists and turns, and there might be some obstacles in your way, but you know what? It's your path. And the analogy of who was it? Walking the road less traveled. Who was that? I can't remember right now. The road less traveled. By walking a familiar path, by walking a path that is clear, that is laid out, with no obstacles in it, you don't learn anything. You don't learn how to deal with the challenges that life gives you. So to walk your own path, it's exciting. It can be an adventure. And there is limitless possibilities as to what the path can look like. And you'll learn new things. You'll learn how to use tools that you haven't used before. You know, you can make your own tools. How about that? Make your own tools. Like, get a tree branch, get a stone, carve something, make a tool, use it. There's so much that you can do just by creating your own path, walking that path. And you know what? You might see someone else over here. They're walking their path. They are creating their own path. You're like, yeah, I see you over there. I see you walking that path. I see you making your own path. And maybe a part of you wants to be like, you know what, you're having trouble. Maybe you should just join me on mine. You know, maybe you should just come over here, and after I've made my path, you can follow me and follow me what I'm doing, and just, you know, because I'm making a pretty good path over here. You know, you might see someone who's making a really awesome path. Oh my gosh, they're making a super awesome path. And your path is like not doing so well. You've got a lot of thorns in front of you. You've got like a really steep mountain ahead, and you're like, I don't know if I can do this. This one seems a lot easier. Maybe I should just go down this path. It's already looking pretty good. This person making this path, they put a lot of work into their path, and I'm just going to go right behind them and go use their path. Or maybe you could even, gosh, this is all like, I'm just making this up as I go along. You can even join someone and be like, hey, let's make a path together. Let's, hold on, end that. Let's try this out together. Let's create our own path together. You know, and maybe you've got some tools that you know how to use to create this path. Maybe they have their own tools they know how to use. You can share tools. You can walk the path together, and then it's just as fulfilling because you have co-created this path that you're walking down. So that's looks like my computer needs to be plugged in. I'm going to do that real quick. I can't see if anybody's watching right now, and I can't see if anybody who is watching, if anybody's watching. On my computer, I wasn't able to put a title in first to this video, so that might be why. And I'm going to add something in later based on my computer wants me to restart. Okay. So back to what I was saying at the beginning, though. Living your life on your terms, doing it in a way that brings you joy, not how you perceive or assume would bring other people joy. It has a ripple effect, and it does bring other people joy. This relates to the path creating as well, because if you are walking down a path that someone else created, it might be, And it looks like my video isn't playing anymore. Hold on. Okay, there was a problem with my video. Hopefully that it's still working. See, this is what happens in life. There's glitches all the time. So walking down someone else's path, you may be able to experience more because you can be more in stillness. That's good too. Actually, it's important to try out other paths in life and see, maybe see how they were created. And while you're walking down a path that's already laid out, you can just enjoy listening to the birds, enjoy the scenery a little bit more, right? And really appreciate what that path has. But it's not yours. Yours is the one that you create. And you can be inspired by other people's paths. But to make your own is quite an amazing feat and is not for the faint of heart. But it is so rewarding. So rewarding. So thank you for watching. I'm going to end this now because I have to go pee. And I cannot sit here any longer. If you have any questions, you want to know more about my work that I do, my embodiment work that I do, starting with the body, integrating body work with being present in the body, and allowing that to inspire you to create your own reality for yourself. So you can actually, if you subscribe to my email list, you get a free recording of the video, the guided visualization of creating your path. So if you want to go through that, please subscribe to my website, and then you'll get that free recording of the guided visualization. And if you have any problems with that, please let me know, because I was there were some glitches with my website and with my freebie there. So please let me know if that is an issue with you, and I will go ahead and just send you that guided visualization anyways. And if you just send me your email address, I can do that for you. Okay. So I will see you next time, and yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay warm wherever you are, or if you are in a warm place, please enjoy it for me. It's very cold today in my neck of the woods. Okay, blessings to you all. Bye.